Hi there, welcome to CBD and Essential Oil Talk Radio with Marc and Nikki, where we talk about realistic and fun ways to have a healthy family life and how CBD and essential oils fit right in. Coming up on the show today, we've got a special guest, Marcella Vonn Harting. She has over 28 years of experience in essential oils and the business and so much more, raising family in that environment. Just a phenomenal person. She's a straight talker, gets right to it. I love it. So you guys are going to really enjoy learning from her today. And then I've got some Instagram inspiration, blueberry pancakes that I find. I just love talking about awesome food.
Sounds good.
I love food. So I'll mention that a little bit later in the show, but we're going to focus primarily on Marcella today. And Nikki, what do you got going on?
Well, you know what? Today I'm going to talk about our skin on our face, and I'm going to give this DIY face toner recipe. Now, most people wash and moisturize their face, but adding that extra step of a toner is actually a pretty big difference. It can make a pretty big difference.
No, I'm a guy, so I don't have any experience.
I know, but you're also my spirit animal. You're like, I love food. I was like, oh, that's funny.
All right, so for those of you out there who are curious, we are diffusing ylang ylang, lemon, orange, and lavender in the studio today. So quite an awesome combination my wife put together for us today. We appreciate that. A quick note for folks out there interested in starting a new year off with essential oils, which have been used for centuries to help the mind and body, as well as keeping a clean and healthy environment. Go with the perfect home starter kit that Nikki and I personally use and recommend. Text the word SAVE, that's S-A-V-E, to 210-910-4174. We'll send some information right out to your phone, which makes learning super easy. And when you purchase a starter kit from us that we recommend, you'll also get an exclusive invitation to join our private CBD and essential oil community, where you can connect with us and continue to learn amazing ways to use these essential oils. So text the word SAVE to 210-910-4174. We'll get that information sent right out to your phone. All right, Nikki.
All right. So what made me even want to talk about a skin toner on our show today? It's that it's the new year, a new me, and I'm starting to take better care of myself as a whole, right? Just the whole part of me, every part of me, including my skin. And I realize that my regimen is typical. It's wash your face, moisturize your face. That's all I typically do. So when I came across this toner recipe, I started using it for 2 weeks now. I absolutely love it. It's so simple. Okay. So first of all, toners are typically used as a final cleansing step to remove leftover debris that your cleaner left behind. Oh. Right. So it also can balance the pH in your skin, which minimize the appearance of larger pores. Your wife talked to me about this.
Okay.
And it actually can help those that are prone to getting blemishes. It's actually a benefit for those people. So DIY toner recipe, simple, 3 ingredients, 4 tablespoons of witch hazel, 2 tablespoons aloe vera gel. I use organic, and then 4 to 6 drops of essential oil. Now, there are certain oils for certain skin types. You're just going to mix this up, and you can use it on a cotton ball or whatever cotton pad you want to use it for. But dry skin, I'll put this on our website. I'll put it on our blog at eotalkradio.com in the blog section there. But for dry skin, I would say rose or chamomile. Oily skin, peppermint orange, frankincense, ylang ylang. Acne prone skin, tea tree, clary sage, lemon, lavender. Aging skin, that might be the one I'm using. Might be. Palmarosa, carrot seed oil, sandalwood, and rose. That's what I'm typically using, and I love that. And if you have sensitive skin, then back to chamomile, geranium, and lavender. But there are certain drops that you would put in for each of these, and I'll put those there on our blog. And, take care of yourself. This is a year to take care of me, and you better take care of yourself too.
Right. Self-care is so important.
It is. It's so important.
Are you doing any of the clay masks or anything like that?
No, I haven't gotten that far yet.
I've heard good things about clay masks.
I know you have.
I'm curious why us guys, we're really not taught to take care of our skin.
You're not.
I mean,
it's just
I've never used toner in my life.
I'm not toned anywhere. I'm just kidding. That's too funny.
No, it is interesting, right? I never really thought about it, but yeah, I wash my face on occasion when I'm in the shower, but generally
with
speaking.
your shampoo.
Yeah, probably. Well, I use that 3-in-1, the Shutron stuff from it's essential oil infused. Seriously.
Yeah.
That's
and Young Living actually makes a charcoal soap that is fabulous.
How do you use that?
Like how do you use soap, Mark? Are you asking me how to use it?
Do you really wash the whole body with charcoal soap?
No, I just use it on my face, usually on my chest.
Okay. You just apply water, Mark, and rub it around.
It's real simple, Mark. Let me give you a how-to, a tutorial.
I don't know. All right. So, thanks for that. So, again,
welcome.
back to the blog if you guys want to get that recipe and have a little fun with that. All right, so I'm going to quick word from our sponsor for the show is the San Antonio Empowerment Council, who has a couple of events coming up. And so on Saturday, January 18th, they have a huge CBD and essential oil event going on in the Bernie, San Antonio area. And the keynote speaker is going to be Marcella Vonn Harting, who's going to be on the show today. Super excited. She is a Young Living Royal Crown Diamond with over 28 years of essential oil experience and all kinds of stuff. I mean, just tell you, and I've said this on other shows, so this is not just because Marcella's with us today, but I've had a chance to sit down and have a conversation with her at dinner, where there's a lot of other people there, right? But I got a few words in, but she's just amazing to learn from. Whenever you get a chance to sit with somebody who's been in the essential oil or plant oil industry for 20 plus years or whatever, you should take it. Yep. Because you will learn so much. That information is so powerful. So that's on Saturday. She's got this event going on, right? She's been talking for a while there, and then her son Dallas Harting is also going to be here. He's a Crown Diamond. He has obviously about 28 years of experience in the essential oil plant oil industry. Great to get a man's perspective on stuff too. So two good reasons right there to be there on the 18th. But if you can't be there, you can watch online. This is our first time doing this, and it's going to be not like from a cell phone, whatever. It's going to be through Zoom webinar. It's going to be good quality video, good quality audio. It's going to be a great experience for folks, and they'll get a digital replay that they can watch for up to 30 days. So, because we all miss stuff, right?
Right.
This is huge.
I'm excited about that because I usually miss some stuff.
Right, because you're the MC. You're working up there.
So now I'm able to come back and take some notes and really, really learn.
Yep. And on January 19th, Marcella and Dallas are going to dive even deeper into the oils. They got a 4-hour block of instruction. Again, you just don't want to miss that kind of stuff if you can get to it. And it's going to be available online as well. So definitely want to take the opportunity to do that. So all the details for this event and other events at saecevents.com. And right on cue with my background music there.
You're good, Mark. I'm
going to bring Marcella in. So Marcella, she has over 28 years of experience using essential oils and holds a dual PhD, one in psychoneurology and the other in integrative health. So she not just has the personal experience, right, the hands-on experience and dealing with hundreds, maybe even thousands of people, but she also has the education to back herself up. So she's a phenomenal person. Marcella, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Well, I know I'm super excited, and I know Nikki's super excited that
welcome.
you are joining us today. So
thank you. Very excited to be with you again.
And we're excited that you take the day, because I know you're busy and you got a lot going on. So we'll take a few minutes just to learn as much as we possibly can about what's going on. So just real quick, though, can you give like an abbreviated version of how you got started with Young Living Essential Oils? And I know that's a tough question, but we got so much more to get into. But can you give us a little bit on what got you started in essential oils in the first place?
Well, I think the last radio show I did with you, Marc and Nikki, I did explain how I got started with my daughter. She swallowed meconium at her birth.
Oh,
that's right.
And then died in my husband's arms at 7 months. And we lived in ICU for about 12 days. And God gave her back to us. But we had many, many challenges. This was 36 years ago. So that put me on a path of looking at everything more natural that I could do, because the medical world, the political world in which we live in basically said I would have to institutionalize my daughter, and I refused. And I went back to school for nutrition. And what made that story kind of fascinating is my husband is a Burger King franchisee, so we were selling hamburgers. And when I went back to study nutrition, we became vegetarian. We were vegetarian for 9 years. Today, I have a PhD in psychoneurology and integrative health. I've gone back to school. I'm a continuous student, so I'm always learning, which is a conversation, Marc, that you and I had just prior to this call was about what we love what we do, you know, and I love learning, and I love sharing what I learn. And I have a lot of different certifications and a lot of different courses in my experience. And yet it's like the whole truth of what Young Living's all about is just being able to add value and be of service to the people that we meet. And so we all have tool belts and we all have life experiences. And it's like using what God has given us to make a difference in people's lives. It's a real honor to be coming to San Antonio for the January Live Your Passion Rally, because this is a day when all over the world, people are just focused on consciously sharing Young Living with someone. And I'm really excited to come to San Antonio. I feel it's extended family with a lot of you there. And I personally will be talking a little bit about personal development, about products. And Heather Grill has asked me to share a lot of stories that I've learned and experiences that I've learned over the course of years of following Gary and Mary Young all over the world. So I definitely will be doing that. It will be a couple of days there of lots of business, personal development, and product. And I know there's a lot of people that don't think of Young Living basically as a business, but believe me, we will share with you about the product enough to know that you'll then know whether you need to take that product or not.
Yeah, that's super helpful.
There's a lot of supplements out there, and what's happened with the world, with the FDA and the FTC, people have felt that their voice has been taken away from them.
Very true.
So I will share with you at the rally in a way that you realize that you still have a voice, and you can share the oils, the supplements, your story, your testimonial in a way that people can get why this is passionate for you and why they maybe should take a look at it.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be very, very helpful for folks because they are stuck, like you're saying. We're kind of maybe a little bit afraid to share that, but we can get past that. If we can take a little bit of time, kind of a preview of when you're going to be here, I'd like to talk a little bit about taking essential oils internally. So we hear all the time, and you see it in blog posts and articles and stuff like that, and books, and people are saying, hey, never take essential oils internally. And I know I have personal experience taking essential oils internally and have just amazing transformation in my own personal health. So I know that that's not true. And of course, I'm surrounded by people that take essential oils internally and they've had good effect. But I'd like to ask an expert, and we're all learning, so maybe expert's not the right word, but we're all learning, but you have a lot of experience in that area. So a couple of points that I'd like to ask you about taking essential oils internally. And first is, what are some reasons why would somebody take an essential oil internally? And I don't necessarily mean like, with a particular problem, but does the body respond or act differently when it comes to taking an essential oil internally as opposed to applying it topically or aromatically? I know that it does, but I don't know maybe the mechanics of why. I was hoping you had some insight on that.
I hope that I will share some insight for that, because each essential oil possesses a different chemical structure that provide the body with unique properties and benefits. So, for example, some essential oils can be used internally to promote healthy cell function. They can support gastrointestinal health. They can maintain a healthy immune function. And then other oils may offer internal cleansing benefits. So, there's all different ways that we can take oils. Is it safe to use essential oils internally? Well, it's amazing when you think about this. It may be strange for some people to consume something so powerful and potent when you think of 1 drop of peppermint being equivalent to 28 cups of tea. But if you think about essential oils come from plants, fruits, and compounds found in nature, and therefore present a safe way to receive internal benefits. We metabolize food when we eat food. And if we're eating live food, then the liquid in the food is the essential oils. So the whole key is our bodies are designed to metabolize and process natural compounds like plants and fruits. So we're already equipped to metabolize essential oils. Essential oils are just merely highly concentrated compounds, natural compounds. So, there's always the question I say to life is yes, no, maybe. So, people can actually drink too much water. There's a thing called common sense, and I realize that common sense isn't common anymore. And, it's kind of a joke because Young Living has an oil blend called Common Sense. And for the people that don't have common sense, get the oil. For those that do have common sense, the rest of us intelligently, we can kind of figure this out. Some essential oils should never be taken internally. So, we have special caps on some of the bottles, like wintergreen is an oil that we would not take internally. And of course, there's lots of regulation in the industry of essential oils. But Marc and Nikki, let's go back to the fact that we shouldn't be taking any essential oils internally if they're not pure,
Right.
not a pure product. So in the world today, when we have so many products out there that are calling themselves essential oils and essential essences, I mean, you'd already know that in the name. They're not even, some of these companies are calling themselves essences. They're not even calling themselves oils. The majority of products out there are really more perfume grade. And
Right.
it's funny because I always tell people, if you can't put it on your skin, you shouldn't be eating it. But yet people today are putting so many things on their skin that they should not be putting in internally. And the skin is the largest organ of the body. So, it's really educating people to the purity. And that's why we talk about Young Living, because there's a lot of companies out there. People can get essential oils anywhere today, from Walgreens to Costco to the supermarket.
The dollar store started carrying them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Isn't that amazing? But see, Young Living's been around for close to 33 years now. And we incorporated like 26 years ago. And, but the truth of it is, our company, Young Living, our whole logo, our whole branding is Seed to Seal. And it's the purity of the product coming from farms all over the world. I mean, I think that people forget where an essential oil comes from, because it's like, this is something, are you aware of the fires that are happening in Australia?
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, so that's just something to think about. So what is Australia known for in essential oils?
Well, we get the sandalwood there.
Well, we do get sandalwood from there, but we also get all of the melaleucas. We get the tea trees. So do you think we may have a challenge in the future with a pure Seed to Seal product when half that country is on fire?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's like, see, people aren't connecting the dots.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do now.
And so when you think of Seed to Seal, when you think of seasons, there's a season for things. It's really connecting the dots to the purity of this product. And the interesting thing about Melaleuca oil is a medicine cabinet in a bottle. If you were going to go out on a hike or go somewhere and you could only take one oil, believe it or not, Melaleuca oil should be that oil.
Wow.
That oil is like a first aid kit in a bottle.
Wow.
I mean, it's profound.
Can you give us some examples without going outside of compliance, or?
Well, I'm just saying, it's literally, if you were to get a scratch or a cut or a boo-boo or, any of those type of things, that's going to be one of the safest oils to put right on that.
Right.
That's going to create an environment that's going to clean that owie, and make it where it's going to heal even better. And it's going to create an oxygen-rich environment, which oxygen is what our body needs to heal. And so that oil is truly, it's antibacterial, it's antiviral, it's antiparasitic. I mean, it's a medicine cabinet in a bottle. Wow. And it's quite profound. And there's just so much on it. And I just basically tell people that's your Swiss Army knife of all of the oils.
Yeah, we've heard about that for lavender. I haven't heard that for Melaleuca yet until you just said it. So how are the farms out there? Because we've got two partner farms out there in Australia. Are they okay?
That's a great question, Mark, and I don't know the answer to that. I just know that my prayers are going to, the people in Australia. It's massive. I saw a chart where what's already been on fire, if you laid it over Europe, would have already consumed a number of countries.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I don't think people realize how big this is. So,
I know we got people going over there from different countries that are going out there to support the Australians to fight that fire. So that's really cool.
Yeah. But this is the thing when it comes to taking oils internally. We take oils internally when we eat live food, and people they're not even connecting the dots to it. Do you know what I mean?
Right. The argument, I guess, would be that it's the concentration and the amount of oil that you're consuming is going to be detrimental to, organs or tissues or cells or something like that in the body. I've personally never seen that. I don't know anybody who's actually experienced that, but I know that it comes up in conversation, and it also comes up in blogs and other stuff. So answering that.
Again, it's a yes, no, maybe. It's
for
one, you've got to have a pure product, and there's a common sense thing here. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you wouldn't take a whole bottle. So I want to go back to a story that kind of brought all of this in. And first, I want to tell you that when you go into the world of aromatherapy and essential oils all over the world, at one time, it's the French doctors that actually gave us the ability to take essential oils internally. I mean, let's go back to the history of this, because essential oils were basically more of a perfume way back when. Do you know what I'm saying in
Sure.
that sense? But we have a medical textbook on aromatherapy written by Dr. Francombe and Dr. Pennewell. And they were both medical doctors. And this book is out of print now. I actually have one in my hand. It's funny how you can still get books that are out of print if you're search enough for it and get it. It's written in French, and it will go into each oil, and it will show you the benefits of it, the contradictions of it, basically how they use this in the medical world. And the French were the first to be taking oils internally, but they were really big. A French doctor made sure that they had a pure product. So when Gary Young, on his journey into the world of essential oils, the French definitely had an influence with Gary to the purity of the product. And Young Living was the first company, I'm going to tell you this, in the world of this thing called aromatherapy that were teaching people to take oils internally.
Oh, wow.
Because we had a pure product. Now, it is amazing how many companies out there, because Young Living says you can take an oil internally, they are now saying you can take an oil internally. But I have to tell you, I would be checking to see if their products are pure before I take something internally. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. All the way back to the source.
So I wanted to share with you a story. In 1996, it was 96 or 97, Young Living took 97 distributors over to Egypt. And Gary Young was really into educating us on the history of essential oils and all the different places in the world where oils had a great influence on the people of the culture and of the region. And before we did that trip to Egypt, and I'd been over to Egypt twice with Young Living in the course of the years that I've been with this company. But on that very first trip, Gary pretty much put everybody that was going, we were kind of like on a cleanse before we went over. Now, you got to realize that Egypt, that part of the world, those are second and third world countries. So as a doctor, I'm going to share with you, when I travel to a third world country, I don't eat a lot of live food. Now, it's crazy to say that, but people would think, well, you got fruit and you got salads and this and that. But I only eat food that's cooked, because every time I go to a third world country, I do a parasite cleanse when I come back.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's just a whole nother way of looking at life, and people get parasites everywhere they go, and that's not what I meant to talk about on this class. But what I wanted to share with you, when we went over on that trip, when about 3 to 4 days on that trip, there was 97 people on that trip, and 96 people got really ill. Now, look at the number there. 96.
Was Gary the one that didn't?
Well, no, I'm going to tell you, I was the one that didn't get sick. And because I do certain things when I travel to third world countries. But I want to share with you is we all had our supplementation on that trip. And I'm telling you the story because this is the first time that Gary Young taught us to take oils internally.
Okay.
Up until 97, we weren't taking oils internally in this company. And in the beginning, the FDA, they had it was illegal to take oils internally when we started Young Living here in the United States. And it's funny because you could use oils externally in the body. And Gary Young used to do this funny little thing. He used to put a drop of oil on the top of his hand, like he'd put a drop of peppermint. Legally, you could put oils externally on the body. And Gary would have everybody stick their tongue out. Now your tongue is external. And he would just accidentally go lick that drop of oil off his hand. I mean, this is true story. So, like that is a really gray area of the law, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
Because in the beginning, we weren't allowed to take the oils internally. Well, in 1996, it was 96, 97. I have to go back to exact time when we went on that trip. And everybody got really sick. I mean, they had Ramses' revenge. Okay. Egypt is a valley of Ramsey, right? King Ramsey.
Sure.
So if we went to Mexico, it'd be Montezuma's revenge. But in
Okay.
Egypt, it was Ramses' revenge. So people were a little bit of diarrhea. They were throwing up. People were ill. And it was the food. We're not set up for that, right?
Okay.
So Gary, then we emptied out our capsules of Comfortone and we put oils internally in those capsules.
Oh.
And that was the very first time. And of course, we were not in the United States, so we were across the world. So they didn't have the laws they have over there in the States. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we fill those capsules and we put oils in those capsules, and we took that so that the oil could get down into the gut, because that's where people were really having the challenges. And when you take like essential oils, if I put a drop in my water and drink it in my water, am I going to get that oil really deep down in the gut?
No.
No. It's going to.
Not to the extent, because I've got enzymes happening through my saliva, going on through the gastrointestinal system of the body. Do you know what I mean? But the oils are lipid soluble compounds. So they're easily transported to all body organs, even the brain. So essential oils can be delivered to the organs of the body, and they're processed like other things that we consume through the metabolism by the liver and the other organs.
Gotcha.
So, you just got to realize that the body's designed to metabolize and process natural compounds like essential oils. But it's in appropriate doses. So, we started taking the oils internally, and Young Living is the first company in the world that started to infuse essential oils in our supplements. I mean, there's, I know of only one company that's actually doing that today, but guess who they took that from?
Well, that would be Young Living.
Young Living. I mean, we're the first in the world that has done this, So yes, you can take essential oils internally. It's phenomenal. And they're considered safe for internal use. And the governments came out with a whole list of essential oils that you can take internally. And a lot of people cook with basil and coriander and fennel and cilantro and, so there's a lot of different oils and spices that we actually can use in our cooking.
Yeah, and it's not perfume, right? Like people typically associate essential oils with perfume, and no dummy is going to take perfume in a capsule, right? But this is a totally different ballgame, and I think this is part of the stretch for people to learn.
Right.
So,
and then and in the research, you got to go back to the French model of essential oil application. They advocated taking the oils internally. And that's actually where we got that. And that was all from Jean Valnet and a lot of the French doctors. And that's actually how they were taking oils. And, they used to put oils in honey, or they used to put them on bread and have people consume the honey or the bread. It's like the old song, a little bit of sugar makes the medicine go down, where they used to put essential oils in honey.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
even today, Mark, we can drop a drop of citrus oil, lime, or orange or lemon in water and drink it.
Yeah.
So
I've got that going on this morning with lemon. It's in my water.
Do you?
Yeah.
And
it's sorry.
Well, I was just going to say one thing about that, and then I'll let you take it from there, Nikki. But when you squeeze a lemon, the lemon juice is great for the lymphatic system of the body, but the oil comes from the rind. So very, very different, the lemon juice and how that benefits the body compared to the oil. So I just want you to realize two different things there.
Yes, and that's a good point. And that actually brings me full circle back. And I'm going to give a quick example, and it's okay if you can't comment on or whatever. But so I had a personal story. I had shingles, and I was in my 40s, I guess, when I had it, and it was really, really bad. And it got so painful. I was going to go to the doctor, and somebody reminded my wife, "Hey, there's a combination of oils. It's clove, copaiba, sacred frankincense, I think, or frankincense, I forget, and then Idaho balsam fir." It's this nice concoction. I won't even say the name of it, but it's this concoction that's pretty popular for pain. So what I did is, and I had been applying oils topically, right? Because I wanted to kind of, control issues there. But I wasn't getting any pain relief and didn't really expect it. So I took this combination of oils. It's like 4 or 5 drops each would fit in the capsule. And I took it internally. And within 10 to 15 minutes, the pain went from a 10 down to about a 1.5. I was actually able to sleep. I was able to function, didn't have to go to the doctor. I was able to go to work. I actually put on an essential oil class while I was dealing with all this, but it just changed my life. So it was a profound effect. And my question is, so obviously applying that internally, applying it topically wouldn't have had this effect, but taking it internally in the metabolism process of the body, it had this effect. And I'm just curious, do you have any idea why that would happen?
It's a great question. There's just different delivery systems in our body. I believe that the human body is quite unique and different in our metabolism. And I think it has a lot to do with the liver, Mark, to be honest with you, because everything goes through the liver. But I do believe that we have a number of ways to take oils. You can take oils through water, supplement capsules, direct application, cooking and baking. And I know that when I put oils on my skin, and if I take a little bit of water and rub that over the oil, it actually drives the oil deeper in.
Oh,
so
I like that.
That's a phenomenal application to take water. Like wet your hand and then rub it over where you put the oil, and it will drive that oil deeper in. So it's like everybody's uniquely different. It's a great question. I don't know if there's one answer to it, because I think everybody's uniquely different. And I think all the applications are powerful. I know that when I had my knee surgery for my ACL here, I took oils internally and I put oils topically. And I had better relief from taking the same recipe that you were using for pain.
Okay.
I took internally, and it was amazing. And it was a whole different sensation in my body compared to just going topically in that area.
Yeah, so it's just fascinating to me. It's got to be the metabolic process of the body that does that. And the body is so intelligent. It takes these tools and then puts them to work in amazing ways. But anyway.
Well, see, Gary always said to me this, and it's like Gary was a man that believed in God. I believe in God, so there's certain things that I don't have the answers for.
Sure.
But Gary always said to me, the oils are the closest thing to Mother Nature. They're the plants, and they're alive. It's a living force of the plant. And he says they know what to do. It's like you take helichrysum and you take that oil internally, and it can thicken the blood or it can thin the blood. So it's like, how does it know to do that? Well, it's like, I can't answer that. He could never answer that in the sense, but there was a knowing of the plant and the knowing of the human body. And, here we're going into 2020, and this is a decade, a new decade for us. And, 2020 is supposed to be perfect vision. It is fascinating that most people have perfect vision when they look back in their life. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But now we're going forward with this. And there's certain things that you don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we just have to experience it.
Yes, but the body knows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that? So,
yeah, well, it's the intelligence, right? It's like a construction guy. You got a Home Depot, it's got all these supplies, and the construction guy, he knows what to do with them. That's how I've always thought of essential oils. But you bring another layer into that where the oils themselves have a certain amount of intelligence as well. The body has intelligence, and together they make awesome things happen.
Well, and it's true. And there's not been a lot of studies, Mark, in the study of our essential oils giving us vitamins. Are they giving us minerals? Are they, you know what I mean? They've never actually broken down that liquid in the fact, I mean, we have constituents in there, but what are the other properties that they're giving us?
Right, and as I understand it, they don't even know all of the different properties that are in oils. They haven't actually gotten down to that minute part. They're finding new stuff all the time.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's still a mystery.
Yeah.
But there's not a day in my life that goes by that I'm not smelling an oil or putting an oil on my body. I mean, it's just been life-changing for me. And, you know, the fascinating thing is everybody smells.
Yep.
So either you smell good or you don't. I want to make sure I do smell good with my oils.
That's right.
All right. Well, I imagine we could probably talk for hours and hours on this. We're really looking forward to you coming up on January 18th and 19th. If you've liked this conversation and you want to learn a little bit more, you definitely want to be there on the 18th, 19th. If you can't be here locally, you're going to want to check it out online. Get your tickets to that. I promise you it's going to be worth every penny that you spend. So.
Yeah. And Marcella, just one thing here. I love that you work and you tour with your son, Dallas. I think that's wonderful. I want to do that with my daughter, Michaela, someday. So my question for you and a lot of the moms out there that are listening, you know, what advice do you have for moms with young kids trying to build their business? Could you give us a tip or a hint?
Well, this is the one thing I'll tell you just in my own life. So when I got started into Young Living, I mean, my daughter is 36 now and Dallas is 33. Okay. So, and I've been with the company 28 years. So my kids were little when I came into this and started to share this and do classes. And I believe that this business is really all about relationships and building those relationships to see how you could add value and be of service for them. So Young Living is a network marketing company. We're a home-based company. So one of the things that I did when I did classes in my home, I always had a babysitter here at my house. And I told people, bring your kids. Bring your kids. And, you know, I think sometimes people, they don't come because they don't have somebody to watch their kids or whatever. But the truth of it is this whole business is based on the fact that this is a business that you can have and stay home and have a business from your home and be with your family. So again, let's connect the dots here. Let's make it work so that you can do this with your family. So I always had a babysitter and encouraged everybody to bring their kids, bring their family, you know, because this is a family-based company and it's a home-based company. And it's more than just a business, it's a lifestyle.
That's wonderful. And that's easy and keeping it simple. I love
so
that.
If that's one tip, you know, bring an older, younger person to help play with the kids, you know, or you get to talk the business and the products, you know.
Excellent.
Yep, that is a great tip. And you can get more of those types of tips if you come out on January 18th on a Saturday or the 19th. Any chance you get it to be around, come early, stay late. And I know Marcella, she loves to help people and loves to talk with them. So get in front of her, ask a question if you get a chance. It could change your life, and that's just no joke. So Marcella, we really appreciate you coming out. So looking forward to spending time with you on January 18th and 19th, maybe a little bit on the 17th if I can, because I'll be there Friday night as well. I think we're having dinner. So I'm beyond excited. I know Nikki is too. So thank you very much for coming on the show and spending some time with us. This will be a great resource for people for years to come, I would imagine.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Mark. Look forward to seeing you at the rally.
All right. We'll see you soon. Take care, Marcella.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ugh,
Wow,
I love
right?
talking to her. I want her to write books after books after books so I can have them.
She's so real and just
She's
so warm and just a giving person, but that's the nature of what it is that she does. So anyway, we're very blessed to have her on the show. I'm telling you, if you guys miss this on the 18th and 19th, I'm warning you, you're gonna regret it. So definitely want to do that. So get your tickets, saecevents.com for sure. And we're going to wrap up. A quick reminder for those of you looking to add high-quality essential oils to your home, trust the company that Nikki and I personally use and recommend, Young Living Essential Oils. Young Living is a farming company, first and foremost, that oversees the entire essential oil process from farming the plants, distilling the oils, testing, bottling, delivery, and world-class customer service. You know, it's one of my favorite things. I don't talk about this a whole lot, but if there's a bottle of oil that the cap didn't seal right and it's leaking a little bit, it's like, I love that because then I call them, I'm like, hey, you know, and they'll send me out a new bottle and I get to keep the other one. But And they don't make mistakes very
Yeah.
often, but
I was gonna say,
sometimes
it's happened once to me in 5 years.
Yeah.
I got a free bottle of, or a replacement bottle of Valor. I believe it was Valor.
nice.
And
I've actually gotten a replacement of frankincense.
oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. So if you're interested in learning more about essential oils and the company we trust, text the word oils to 210-910-41741 and we will send the information right to your phone. And as we wrap up, a quick reminder to check out our latest podcast and all the usual podcast platforms. And be sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, where we post videos of our show. The links to everything you need to know are in the details below, or you can check out our website at eotalkradio.com. And that's going to be it for us. Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next show.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care.